Hey everybody, it's Nick with Girardi Candle Craft here. Today we're making just 1 pound of soy wax, GW464. We're going to do it in Christmas Splendor, which you can get at candlesandSupplies.net, or you can visit them in Quakertown, Pennsylvania, whichever one you'd prefer. But so we're gonna have to weigh out 1 pound of wax. We're going to weigh out 1 ounce of Christmas Splendor, and we're gonna go to the GoPro and we're gonna let you see the whole thing, POV version. I'll get back right with you. All right, now I got you here on the GoPro. I think it'll be a lot easier for you to see everything. But right now what we're gonna do is we're gonna weigh out 1 pound of the wax. We're gonna make sure that we get that right. So we're gonna get it on our scale. We're gonna tare it, whatever you say. We're going to dump 1 pound of wax. And 1 pound of wax should give us 3 candles. 8-ounce candles. You're actually really only getting about 6.2 ounces of wax in each. Well, a little bit less, about 6 ounces of wax in each, due to the wick and the glue that holds the wick down and all that stuff. But that's pretty much that process. So we take our pound of wax and we put it in our water. We have boiling water, and we like to use a double boiler system because it's safer. You don't have to worry so much about it overheating and lighting on fire and killing you, which is what we're really trying to avoid when you're ever doing anything like this. Especially because it's super dangerous to overheat wax, as it can light on fire. So now what we'll do is we'll let our wax melt, and when our wax gets to about 185 degrees, that's when we take it off the heat and we add our scent, and then we let our wax cool to about 135, and that's when we will pour our wax into our containers and let them set. I also recommend that you go out and you get one of these hot plates, just in case, you know, your significant other doesn't want you using their stove, or, you know, it's just easier in this situation where you can just put it on something that can handle the heat and you can go about your day. Plus, a good scale. This is a really good, well, I mean, it's average, but it does its purpose. It serves its purpose, and it's a good scale. It's a good Taylor. I have a Taylor thermometer, but I like this one because it's one of those oven thermometers. You can just drop it right into the wax. I know everyone's got those infrared ones, but I don't feel like spending all that kind of money. I kind of like this because it gives me a physical temperature. Like, I can physically know that that is the temperature of the liquid in all sorts of areas. I don't know exactly how the lasers work. I don't know if they only get surface temperature or internal temperature, but I don't know. I just kind of like this. Years of cooking kind of made me more likely to pick one of these up. But that's pretty much the tools with that. These clips are a complete pain in the ass, but they do work and they make the wick really straight. The only issue is sometimes they come loose like that. I mean, I find that sometimes it's easier to do it this way, which looks like it's the wrong way, but they really hold on better. And I've seen other ways that people do these. You can do it with popsicle sticks, you can do them with the clothespins, you can, whatever you can, you know, dream of. I'm sure you can come up with something for those. And just your usual, you know, cheap glass measuring devices. I would prefer to have something that, you know, if it breaks, you're not going to be too upset about it. But you don't really need much stuff. It's not really that much equipment that's needed to make candles. A good pot for the double boiler, preferably steel. Everything should be steel. I just like steel. You know, obviously the aluminum wax melter pour is really nice too. These are good, but when you're doing soap, you can't use anything aluminum, because the lye inside of the soap will react with it, and you'll really have some terrible stuff happen. So be sure that if you're going to ever make soap, always do everything in stainless steel. But anywho, well, we finally got to our 131 temperature, and you know, it's still a little bit warmer in there. There's other spots at warmer temperatures, so we're ready to pour. Now that we're at that right temp, we can take our thermometer out, shut it off so we don't forget about it. I've done that 100 times. And the greatest thing you can do now for yourself is to find a nice level area that you can pour these candles. I like to just pour them out of my kitchen, but for this video, I'm trying to do them in a spot where I can get a little better shots of everything for you. So we just line our candles up, get our wax, and we pour. We go really slow. We don't want to go too fast because you don't want any air pockets. You just want to take it medium slow because you don't have all day, but you know. If you're doing this for a hobby, you know, if you're doing this for business, you want to make sure they're clean. I find when I find this medium flow, everything's just fine. I don't make too much of a mess and try to keep having a steady hand as best as you can. Nobody's perfect. And next thing I really suggest is to make sure that you don't clean your stuff in your sink and dump it down the drain. It's a huge no-no with wax. You definitely don't want to dump it down your drain, especially if you have a septic or even any sort of sewage system. You really want to avoid putting it down the drain. And you can see that one has a little less in it, but not much. Not much. Normally I put a little bit more and I balance them out, but I'll take my spatula and I'll scoop this out, but I'll save you the hassle of watching that. But that's really it. I mean, now you just let them sit and you come back to them later, you know, about an hour from now, they'll be set, they'll be ready to go, and you can either trim the wick or you can wait. I normally trim the wick the next day, depends, because I make a bunch of them. I make like 50 of them at a time, and I'll just sit there, I'll trim them all, and then I'll put the labels on them, and then, you know, we'll do that. Well, that's really it. That's how you make 1 pound of soy wax into candles. It's really not that difficult. And I guess next time I'll show you how to add some color to your candles, how to test burn them, make sure they're safe, make sure they actually work. The worst thing to do is sell a candle or give a candle away or even make a candle. That's a waste of your time. And you know, there's a lot of ways to fix that and get around that, but for now I'm gonna clean everything up and I'll get back to you. Thanks for watching.